I am going to be ranking all 50 US states, and I am going to put that into a tier list. Starting off, we have the state of Indiana. The capital of Indiana is Indianapolis. I have never been to Indiana before. All I know is that it is home to the Indy 500, but I know it's in the Midwest, and I know it can get very, very cold. And me personally, I do not like the cold weather. I am going to put Indiana in the D category. Granted, this could change if I actually went to Indiana, and maybe if I go, I might like it. It could go higher in the list, but for now, I'm going to put it in the D category. Next up, we have Hawaii. I've been to Hawaii before. The capital is Honolulu. I've been to Honolulu, and I've also been to Maui. This is back in 2016, so almost 10 years ago. And it's beautiful. I don't know anybody who has gone to Hawaii and said they didn't like it. If you don't like Hawaii, there's something wrong with you. It's the best weather I've ever experienced. Beautiful beaches. It's a great place, and I would love to go back sometime soon. I am going to put Hawaii in the S tier category. Next, we have California. Capital of California is Sacramento. I haven't been to California in over 10 years, but I have gone at least 2 or 3 times in my life. I have visited San Diego, San Francisco, and LA. Now, when I went, I always went in the summertime, and the weather was very nice. I think that's the only thing I really like about California. I am going to put California in the C category. C for California. Next up, we have Alaska. The capital of Alaska is Juneau. I have never been to Alaska. I think it would be a cool place to visit. I don't think it would be a great place to live. It seems like a very remote area, very cold, and I know there are, I don't know what time of year this happens, but isn't there like, they have days where it's just all sunlight, so they need blackout curtains when they go to sleep. They need to wear an eye mask when they go to sleep. That does not sound pleasant. And I'm sure since Alaska is pretty in a remote area, the cost of living is probably high. That's my guess. I am going to put Alaska in the D category. Next up, we have Alabama. The capital of Alabama is Montgomery. I have never been to Alabama. All I know about Alabama is the song from Lynyrd Skynyrd called Sweet Home Alabama, which is a great song, by the way. I really don't know much about Alabama. I am going to put Alabama in the D category. Next up, we have Nevada. The capital of Nevada is Carson City. I have been to Nevada. I have been to Las Vegas. I went in 2019. That was the year I graduated from college. Me and my family were on like the Strip, and we like walked through casinos. I don't think any of us actually gambled. I've never been a big gambler. I didn't really care for Las Vegas. I'm going to put Nevada in the C category. Next up, we have Colorado. Capital of Colorado is Denver. Now, I have been to Colorado before. A couple years ago, I had a work trip in Colorado Springs. I was there for 2 weeks, and every morning when I woke up, I had a bloody nose and skin was just peeling off of my face. I guess it's because the air is very dry in Colorado. I don't know if this applies to everywhere in Colorado, but this happened when I was in Colorado Springs. Now, I have heard great things about Denver. I hear it's a fun area to be in. I know people like to go to Colorado for their skiing and snowboarding. Me personally, I broke my leg from skiing earlier this year, so with that being said, I'm probably never going to ski ever again, and I don't want to try snowboarding. But I would like to still go to Colorado and just visit Denver and some of the other nature areas. I believe that's where the Red Rock Amphitheater, is that what it's called? And they have concerts there. That seems really cool. Like, I would like to go to a concert there. I'm going to put Colorado at the B category. So this is the first in the B list. Next up, we have Delaware. The capital of Delaware is Dover. I have been to Delaware. I have been to like Rehoboth and Bethany Beach. It's a cool beach, but compared to other beaches that I have been to, it's definitely not as great. For Delaware, I am going to put this in the D category. Next up is Connecticut. I have never been to Connecticut, but the capital is Hartford, Connecticut. I would really want to go to Connecticut because I heard New Haven specifically has very good pizza. And pizza is one of my favorite foods of all time. I plan to make a separate video on my favorite foods of all time, but I'm going to put Connecticut in the B category. Next up, we have Florida. The capital of Florida is Tallahassee. I have been to Florida multiple times. The first time I ever went to Florida was in the early 2000s when me and my family went to Disney World for the first time. So I've visited like Orlando. Well, technically Disney World is not in Orlando. Isn't it in like, what, Kissimmee? Is it called Kissimmee? Something like that. I have been to Orlando. I've been to Disney World. I've been to Miami. I've been to Key Largo. I forgot what it's called. And I've been to Tampa. I hated Tampa. I've only visited once, but the week I was there, it was pouring rain the entire week and it pissed me off. But Florida is cool. The weather is great. I am going to put Florida in the A category. So the first in the A list. Next up, we have Georgia. The capital of Georgia is Atlanta, Georgia. I visited Atlanta when I was very young. My sister used to compete in Taekwondo tournaments, and we went to a Taekwondo tournament in Atlanta. It was held at the Atlanta Falcons football stadium. I don't remember much from that trip because it was a long time ago, but I do remember visiting the Coca-Cola factory and having a really fun time there. I would like to visit Georgia again and go to other places in Georgia. For example, I've heard great things about Savannah. I am going to put Georgia in the B category. Next up, we have Maryland. I have been to Maryland multiple times. I have family in Maryland. I live not too far from Maryland because I live in Virginia. Maryland has very bad drivers, but Maryland also has very good food. Maryland is known for crabs, and I love crab cakes. I like soft shell crabs. I don't like the hard crabs where you have to like break the shells. Last time I did that, I like cut my finger from the shell and my finger started bleeding, so that was really annoying. But Maryland has great Asian food. There's a cool rock climbing gym that I like to go to in Maryland. I am going to put Maryland. Oh, also I've been to Baltimore. They have an aquarium there that is really nice. So with that, I am going to put Maryland in the A category, despite them having very bad drivers. Next up is Idaho. I have never been to Idaho, but the capital is Boise, and I know they have lots of potatoes and lots of Mormons. I don't think I would ever visit Idaho. I don't think I have a reason to. So with that, I am going to put that in the D category. Next up is Illinois. The capital is Springfield. I have never been to Illinois. I know that's where Chicago is. I've heard, some good things about Chicago. I hear there are some, neighborhoods to avoid. I would like to visit Chicago one day. I am going to put Illinois in the B category. Next up, we have Arkansas. The capital is Little Rock. I have never been to Arkansas before. I don't think I would ever want to go there. I haven't heard much about it. So with that, I am going to put that in the D category. Iowa. The capital of Iowa is Des Moines. I don't think I would care to visit Iowa. It's in the Midwest. When I think about the Midwest, I think about cornfields and tornadoes. I don't know. Is there really much to see there? I really don't know. At the moment, I don't think I would care to visit Iowa. So with that, I am going to put that in the D category. Next up is Kansas. The capital of Kansas is Topeka. Same as Iowa. I don't know much about it. I feel like it's the same as Iowa. I'm going to put that in the D category. Next up, we have Kentucky. I think similar to Iowa and Kansas. I don't know what's really there. Is that where fried chicken was invented? Like Kentucky Fried Chicken? I used to love fried chicken, but nowadays it makes my stomach hurt and I get indigestion, so I don't eat that much fried chicken. I don't really think I would care to visit Kentucky, so I am going to put that in the D category. Next up is Louisiana. The capital is Baton Rouge. I have visited New Orleans in 2018. That was a very cool experience. The French Quarters was awesome. I remember visiting Cafe du Monde, where I had a beignet, and New Orleans is the birthplace of jazz music, and I love jazz music. I would like to go back. So for that, I am going to put Louisiana in the B category. All right, next we have Maine. I love Maine. I've only been there twice in my life. The first time I went was in 2015, and then most recently I went in 2024. I've gone to Acadia, I've been to Portland, and Maine is, in my opinion, the most beautiful state I have ever visited. If I were to become very rich one day, and if I had houses in other areas, in other states, I would definitely have a house in Maine. I am putting Maine in the S category. I could go to Maine every year and enjoy it and be happy. Next up, we have Massachusetts. The capital is Boston. I have been to Boston. The same year I went to Maine for the first time, so in 2015, because my family drove up to Boston, and then we drove up to Maine. At the time, I had a neighbor who was a student at Harvard, and then my sister had a friend at MIT, which I believe is in, well, it's technically in Cambridge, but it's like right next to Boston. So yeah, Boston. That city was really cool. I think it'd be really cool to go to a Red Sox game and just explore the city again. I'm going to put Boston in the B category. Next up, we have Michigan. The capital of Michigan is Lansing. I have never been, but I would like to visit Detroit. I heard there's a tulip festival that looks cool. There's places by the water that look really pretty. I'm going to put that in the B category. Next one is Minnesota. Very similar to Michigan. I've never been to Minnesota, but I know that the capital is St. Paul, and I've heard that some of the outdoorsy nature spots are really nice in Minnesota. I'm going to put that in the B category. Mississippi, the capital is Jackson. Never been. I don't think I would care to go. D category. Next up, we have Montana. I've never been to Montana, but I know the capital is Helena, and I heard it's really pretty. B category. Next one is Nebraska. Don't care to go. Next up, we have Arizona. The capital is Phoenix. I have never been to Arizona, but I would like to visit one day. I think it'd be cool to visit Phoenix. I don't know what else there is there, so I'm going to put that in the B category. Next up, we have New Hampshire. I have never been to New Hampshire, but the capital of New Hampshire is Concord, and I think it would be very pretty to visit in the summertime, kind of similar to Maine. And I'm biased. I think anything in the Northeast, I would love to visit. So I'm going to put New Hampshire in the B category. Next up, we have New Jersey. The capital of New Jersey is Trenton. I have gone to New Jersey a couple times. I guess New Jersey is cool. I'm going to put it in the C category. Next up, we have New Mexico. The capital of New Mexico is Santa Fe. I have never been to New Mexico, but I'm going to be biased with this one. I would like to visit New Mexico simply because of Breaking Bad. It's one of my favorite TV shows. I would like to go to the places where they filmed, like the Los Pollos Hermanos restaurant. I'm going to put New Mexico in the B category. Next up, we have New York. Capital of New York is Albany. I have been to New York City. I've never been to anywhere else outside of New York City. So I've never been to Rochester, Albany. Is all that considered upstate? I don't know. New York City is cool. I could never live in a city like that. Similar to California, I always hear more bad things than good things. I will say the food in New York is very good, very good. But other than that, I don't think it's that great. So New York City, I'm going to put that in the C category. Next up, we have North Dakota. North Dakota holds a very special place in my heart because growing up every summer, my family and I would go to the Outer Banks in North Carolina for a beach trip, and I had so much fun. And because of all of those great memories that I have, I am going to put North Carolina in the S category. Next up is North Dakota. It's in the Midwest, D category. Ohio, I'm going to put that in the D category. I will say the Ohio flag is very cool, but I don't hear any good things about Ohio. Oklahoma, I cannot stand the Oklahoma Thunder. I'm going to put that in the F category. Oregon, I would like to visit Oregon. I would like to visit Portland. I hear it's very pretty there, so I'm going to put that in the B category. I've never been, but the capital of Oregon is Salem. And then Pennsylvania. So capital of Pennsylvania is Harrisburg. I have been to Philadelphia. I've been to Seven Springs. That's a snow resort. My dad used to live in Philadelphia. He only lived there for a year. And I remember during this time period, I was very sad because I missed him a lot. He would still come home on the weekends, but I would cry during the weekdays, wishing he would come back home. I've stayed in an Airbnb in Kensington. I didn't see anything crazy, honestly, when I was there, but I've heard the stories about Kensington specifically. But there are other places in Pennsylvania that I would like to visit. I would like to attend a Pirates game because I hear that PNC Park is a very beautiful stadium. Some people say it's the best stadium. I am going to put Pennsylvania in the B category. Next up, we have Rhode Island. The capital is Providence. I visited Rhode Island when I was pretty young. Similar to Atlanta, my sister had a Taekwondo tournament in Rhode Island in Providence, and I don't remember anything from that trip, but I don't think there's anything wrong with it, so I'm going to put it in the C category. I would like to visit Rhode Island again. Next up, we have South Carolina. I have been to South Carolina. The capital is Columbia. I've been to Hilton Head, and it was very nice there. South Carolina is also home to my favorite YouTube channel, and that is the Angry Grandpa Show. I am going to put that in the A category. Next up, we have South Dakota. Capital is Pierre. I have never been, but I know that's where Mount Rushmore is. I think that would be cool to visit one day. I don't know anything else about South Dakota, so I'm going to put that in the C category. St. Louis, Missouri. Missouri is Jefferson City. I've never been to Missouri, but I've only heard bad things about it. Specifically St. Louis, I hear that it's not a safe place to be. So I'm going to put that in the D category. Tennessee, I've never been there. The capital is Nashville. I think it would be cool to visit Nashville. So I'm going to put that in the B category. All right, Texas. Texas is a great state. The capital is Austin. I have been to Austin. I have been to San Antonio, I have been to Houston, I have been to Dallas and Fort Worth. Definitely, I would go back. So I'm going to put that in the A category. Utah, the capital of Utah is Salt Lake City. I have been to Utah. I've been to Salt Lake City. I have been to Zion and Bryce National Parks. I went to Utah earlier this year to Salt Lake City, and the mountains are beautiful with the snow. So with that, I'm going to put Utah in the A category. Next up, we have Vermont. The capital is Montpelier. I've never been, but I would love to visit. B category. Virginia. Virginia is the state that I live in. I love where I live. I have lived here my whole life, born and raised in Virginia. I've pretty much lived in the same area my whole life. I don't plan to ever move. I'm going to put Virginia in the S category, and I think that is very well deserved. Next up, we have Washington. The capital of Washington is Olympia. I have been to Washington a couple times. I have a sister who lives out there in Seattle, and it's a very pretty state. I've only been in the summertime. I hear that the rest of the year is very bleak and gray and rainy and a little bit depressing. But in the summertime, it is beautiful. A lot of nature stuff to do out there. I am going to put Washington in the A category. Next up, we have West Virginia. The capital of West Virginia is Charleston. I've been to like the snowshoe resort for skiing. Don't care for West Virginia, honestly. I'll put that in the C category. Wisconsin, I've heard a lot of great things about Wisconsin. I've never been, but I know that the capital is Madison, and I think it would be cool to visit. I'm going to put that in the B category. Lastly, we have Wyoming. Never been, but I mean, sure, I'll visit it. The capital of Wyoming is Cheyenne, so I'm going to put Wyoming in the B category. So here is the final results. In the S category, I have Hawaii, Maine, North Carolina, and Virginia. In the A category, I have Florida, Maryland, South Carolina, Utah, Texas, and Washington. B category, that's my biggest category. I have Colorado, Connecticut, Georgia, Illinois, Louisiana, Massachusetts, Michigan, Minnesota, Montana, Arizona, New Hampshire, New Mexico, Oregon, Pennsylvania, Tennessee, Vermont, Wisconsin, Wyoming. C category, California, Nevada, New Jersey, New York, Rhode Island, South Dakota, West Virginia. D category, I have Indiana, Alaska, Alabama, Delaware, Idaho, Arkansas, Iowa, Kansas, Kentucky, Mississippi, Nebraska, North Dakota, Ohio, and St. Louis. Lastly, in the F category, I only have one state, and that is Oklahoma. And that wraps it up for my tier list of all 50 U.S. states. Let me know if you disagree with anything that I have on my list.